firstly was ahead of.
Good evening and welcome to Meribel for the Inter-Services Snow Sports Championships. We are on day 3 and I tell you what, there's been some superb races and competitions out here in Meribel, and we're delighted to be bringing you an Alpine event this year. This is the Alpine Combined and I have the perfect person on co-commentary. Kelly, do tell us a little bit about yourself and just keep it brief because I know the race is about to start. We like to sort of fly by the seat of our pants, but just quickly introduce yourself and your role out here and your history of skiing as well.
So another life ago, I was in the British ski team, and with actually one of the races that's still going in the women's team today is racing. An older member, and then became a physiotherapist, and so I do some contract work at Snow Sport Great Britain. But I'm a civil servant physiotherapist working on MOD Lynham, but actually here with the RAF Telemark team. So I'm very tri-service.
And it means that I've yet again managed to score myself a expert pundit because I've never skied any kind of downhill or super G or combined. I think what people don't understand about this event, I mean, they'll see that there's one run of slalom. That's what we're going to see. All the male athletes and all the female athletes come down. It's nice and quick. But what happened this morning that makes this a combined event?
So this morning was the Super Giant Slalom, or Super G as it's called, which is another long event. So it's slightly shorter than the downhill, and the turns are slightly rounder and not quite as fast as the downhill, but it's still classed as a speed event. So it's still pretty quick, and for those people that don't get chance to ski the speed events often, it is quite, it plays on your mind. So it's a bit of a mix in that there's still some sections that are very, very fast, like a downhill, but then it comes into some turnier sections. So it's actually it can throw you a fair bit because it's there's a lot going on and an awful lot to remember because the run is still so long. So that was one run this morning.
Yep.
And then the teams now are going into the one run of the slalom. So the fastest from this morning will go last, and the slower individuals. Dare I say slower? The ones with the slightly not quite as fast times will be going down first.
And that means we have like a rolling podium, which kind of makes it more of a sort of party atmosphere. There's going to be it will constantly change unless of course everyone falls, but
absolutely, you'd expect it to constantly change. And what we'll have here as well, we'll have specialists in speed and specialists in technical events. So the slalom and the giant slalom, which we'll see later tomorrow are the technical events, and it very often is that people like one or the other because they are so different. Obviously, the speed events, you've got the people that are seriously brave and happy to really take it on. It's a real mind game, the speed events, and the slalom are very active, slower pace, but actually really active. So it's like your sprint, but actually very exciting as well.
And this is exciting because we've got Paralympian Shona Brownlee, former RAF musician. Actually, she's still sort of doing her thing for the RAF, and of course she's been competing at a very elite level, and it's brilliant to see her out here as the first runner down.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I say, Paralpine skier, Beijing Olympics, top 10 results in the Beijing Olympics, World Championship medalist as well. She is a seriously class act, and we're really privileged to have her.
And if you have ever been skiing with someone in a sit ski, they have some speed on them. I mean, this is a technical event, so we don't see it so much, but when you see her come down on a downhill or a GS, like, the movement in those sit skis is incredible.
It really is, and it takes so much core strength, and and so much upper body strength as well. They're phenomenal athletes.
Right, so first runner down, we've got Genevieve Hook.
Yes, from the Australian Defence Forces. So she's an Army multimedia technician. And let's see, so coming now through the straighter section, so there are gates that are down the hill, and they're called verticales or hairpins, and that's where you pick the speed up. So this section here, where you suddenly have two gates next to each other, and then very turny sections that they've set afterwards. So it's actually quite a technical course there. Yeah. And into the verticale, the straight section here, which means you pick up speed for those gates that are coming afterwards, and that often makes them a little tougher. So
for those people who like watch Ski Sunday, the slalom is the one where you see them hit the poles normally. I suppose Genevieve maybe not as experienced as some of the riders we've got here.
That's it, yeah. The most direct line is the tightest to the pole. So you'll see as we get further through the numbers, yes, their bodies will be literally across the gates. So the gates are spring loaded. When you hit them, they fall straight away, so they don't affect you. And the fastest way is to get your body right across the gate.
So Melissa Gaffey here, and this is how quick it's going to be, people. It's quick fire, quick fire. They start the runner down before the runner has finished the first run. So they're on the podium, and yes, Melissa Gaffey here.
Yeah,
also ADF.
Melissa, in the RAF, and she's absolutely flying. So I would really expect that, yes, 31 seconds up. So she definitely takes the lead.
And she's missed the podium. But Sarah Cousins now on fourth one, including Shona Brownlee on course.
And she's the Air Force Intelligence Officer reservist. And apparently the team's French translator as well.
Oh, wow. You've got to have one of them over here.
You
wouldn't want to be getting the wrong kind of food on your plate. I just asked for cheese, so it's easy for mine.
Safe bet. And she's taken the top section very well.
Technique-wise, are the skis always going to be quite wide, or when they take a straighter line, when they get closer together?
So, yes,
depend on the slope.
Wider gives you a little bit more stability. So some of the top guys will actually go a little bit narrower. So it's a bit of personal preference, and maybe even depends on your biomechanics, really.
Mm-hmm.
So wider is a bit more stable, but if you go a little touch narrower, you can get more leverage, and you can really lean across the gate more kind of to get that shorter line as well, that shorter distance.
Sarah Cousins then over the line for the Australian Defence Force. It's a delight to have the ADF here, and of course the Armed Forces Para Snow Sport team, so it feels like a full house in Meribel. Another RAF racer, we've got Anna Todd on the course at the moment.
Anna is absolutely flying through this top section, and you can see, that there's obviously an awful lot of training has gone on with Anna. She's right across the gates and really letting the skis run. Coming into this fast section here, it's got to be really early on the exit. See there, so a little bit of a break on the exit just because she picked up so much speed. But getting the body right across the gate, a very smooth line. And very active as well. So into the final hairpin, the two gates step down the hill, and absolutely cruising to the finish. Beautiful run,
brilliant run, and she's using those poles, specially designed poles to.
Yep, and so with the hand guards and the leg guards, and she goes 7.967 seconds ahead, which is phenomenal.
That's quite a break there. Another RAF runner, we've got Georgina Davis now on the course, and you were saying, Kelly, that this course was, because I came down this yesterday after the PGS, it was really scrapey, but there seems to be some, you said it was actually quite a nice course. You tried it out for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I went up and had a look at the course earlier. It's actually really grippy. The snow is very grippy tonight, so it's quite forgiving. And Georgina, again, flying really, really smooth, tight lines. You can see her feet are a little bit narrower.
Ooh. Yeah, she's
just getting her body across. But goes 5/10 behind, so into second place.
So Anna Todd remaining at the top there for the RAF, but her colleague Georgina will be quickly following her onto the podium, and we've got Jessica Corbell, British Army, on this course now.
And again, she's taking a nice line into that top section. It's very active. As you see, like slightly wider stance.
Yeah, and we will see a progression of style, I suppose, as the runners get faster and faster.
Absolutely. And just a little bit of rotation here, but through the rhythmical section, but actually really carrying the speed nicely.
So Jessica Corbell close to the 240 mark, and she will go top, 240.72. She will overtake Anna Todd there, and this is how it works, but it doesn't always work as systematically as it should. But we've got Charlotte Hubbard, Royal Navy, now on course in Bib 10.
So Charlotte Hubbard had a 1 minute 48 seconds Super G this morning. So was 10 seconds ahead of our current leader. So has a lot of big lead to carry over. Yeah, absolutely, from the Super G this morning. Yeah,
and that's what we've got to work. Some mathematician somewhere is working that out. We don't have to do that. We can just look at a screen. But Charlotte Hubbard coming down.
That's it. So what we're looking at is the combined times here. 2 minutes 40 to beat. And she storms into the lead. 5 seconds 43.
Absolutely. Well done to Charlotte Hubbard. She'll pop herself there on top of the top of the podium, and we've got Imogen Bird now, another British Army rider, racer on the course.
So it was very close this morning between her and Charlotte, only 0.6 between them. So it really is between these two. It's down to the slalom technique.
And of course, you know, they're a rule. I mean, I don't want to go into it too much, but they sort of name 4 races, don't they, to kind of get the points, and so they'll always name their fastest races in each event, and that's how the team points are collated and stuff.
That's right. I gather though that this the combined isn't actually
doesn't
classifying for it.
Okay,
Yeah, this is for the team event.
Okay.
2.6. So Ash, she stormed the slalom there. So 2 seconds ahead on the slalom purely. Well, nearly 3 seconds ahead on the slalom. So absolutely killed that.
They are making it look pretty easy. Another Royal Navy racer on the course now, Hannah Buchanan.
And yes, so Hannah had 1 second only ahead of Imogen, but Imogen really was flying on that slalom. So Hannah a little bit rounder on the gates. Coming into the straight, the fast section, picking up speed nicely, and she's very active again. So you can see there's but just a little bit of a rounder line.
Hannah Buchanan then coming down, time to beat 2:32 point. She's just going to miss
she's
that.
Going to be off it. Yeah. 2.68. Still very credible. Good run. Very clean.
So
good
she'll Imogen Berg can stay where she is, and Hannah Buchanan can take the 3rd spot on the podium. There you go. That's not as predicted maybe with the Super G times this morning, but Meg Ritchie from the Royal Navy now on course.
And as I say, you know, we will see the lead changing hands just because some will be more slalom specialists, and Meg again really across the gate here. So getting a tight direct line on, and direct actually I shouldn't say direct because direct's not great. The skiers need to turn above the gates. So what I should say is she's getting a tight line, but she's still turning before the gate. So the turn you want to have done by the time you get to the gate, so you can really carry maximal speed. And really clean. Course is just starting to track a little bit. It's hard, so it's going to be in good condition. And there she goes, storms into the lead by 0.88.
Well done, Meg Ritchie. So another Royal Navy racer onto the podium there, and I'm enjoying watching them actually because the time it takes to take your skis off and then jumping onto the podium. And then by the time they've got onto their spot, suddenly the next race is down. So it is as fun as we made it sound.
Yes,
the podium
even the podium change is action-packed.
Isla Jackson then from the British Army on course at the moment.
So Isla, it's her first into services. She's only 20. She's their youngest member, and was runner-up in the downhill at the Army Champs. So you'd think she may be more of a speed specialist, but she looks like she's carrying really good speed down through the bottom half of the slalom as well. So an all-rounder.
So Isla Jackson, time to beat 2:31, and she's going to be, I think, well within that time.
She's on target for that, definitely. Yeah.
By 3 seconds at
4.85. Yeah, 4.85 seconds. So again, storms into the lead. That was a great run.
Isla Jackson then from the British Army jumping onto the podium there, as we see May Percival, another British Army rider, but she unfortunately, Kelly, has taken a fall, so that is not going to help your numbers.
No, it's just
that's the price you pay, don't you, for that bit of extra speed?
You're living on the edge with slalom, and that's what makes it so exciting. Is actually when you're getting so close to the gates to try and get that fast line, it's you're taking a risk, but the risks sometimes they don't pay off. Sometimes but that's the beauty of slalom, and that's why it's so exciting to watch.
And they're turning things around pretty quickly because those gates are still intact. And we've got Royal Navy Lilias Hopkinson, who features really heavily in a lot of podiums actually. So I'm expecting a lot from Lilias. There we go, put pressure on.
Yeah,
so she's now on course.
So Lilias had a crash on the first day of the downhill in the finish area, and was pretty bruised and
got a few scratches on her face.
She does have a few scratches on her face. She looks awesome though, awesome still.
Of course she does.
But she's absolutely flying for the Royal Navy here. And she's really overcome her demons, if you like, and did really well still in the downhill and the Super G again today. And she's flying here.
Absolutely
beautiful,
flying.
Smooth run. Yes, 5.63 seconds in the lead. That was absolutely stunning run there. Just really active, really smooth, and really direct at the gate.
Now this one, Kirsty Guest, obviously everyone expects a lot from Kirsty. She actually, probably a surprise maybe to her, maybe to other people, she only came second in the Super G this morning behind Tessa Peary, but she, Royal Air Force.
So she's
what a
absolutely
skill.
flying. So Kirsty, ex-Scottish team member, made a big mistake this morning, just got the line wrong, 2 seconds behind Tessa, which was, not so expected. And
She's trying to make up her time here.
Absolutely, she's, flying
nailed
as
that
you'd
by
expect.
12 seconds more.
She's absolute class, and from a very famous skiing family. Oh, and Tessa's down.
Oh no!
So Tessa, the pressure was on Tess there because
All the hard work she put in this morning.
Absolutely, but she would have seen that she would have had to go hard there to Kirsty really put the level down, set the level there, and Tessa knew she had to really go for it, and unlucky for Tess.
So that is the women's Alpine Combined completed, because Tess Peary was the fastest, so she would have been the last one down, and it means we've got a nice mixed podium there. We've got a
tri-service podium,
absolutely. That's always nice to see. So
it is.
Unfortunately for Tessa Peary, that is did not finish. So that is your winning podium for Alpine Super Combined, with Kirsty Guest, Lillis Hopkinson and Isla Jackson representing all three services. And that is, I did say it was quick, Kelly.
that was
it's cold out here.
And we're off again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Lauren Bird coming down.
And in third place, Private Isla Jackson from the Army.
So we're on to Lauren. Actually, didn't start this morning in the Super G.
Right. Okay. So she's just doing a single run.
Absolutely. So she's getting her slalom legs on. It's a really difficult transition from the long skis, and obviously they've done 3 days of downhill before the Super G this morning too. That transition's tough. So it does them a favour to get the slalom skis out this evening and start prepping for the technical events, the GS tomorrow, and then the slalom again, following on from that. So
this is great as well, that they want their skiers to get as much practice as possible. So Lauren Bird, her result won't count, but it's good to have got a slalom time just for her own purposes, and she's coming down in under a minute.
Yeah, incredible, very credible, lovely run. Again, very smooth, a little bit of a rounder line, but very, very smooth and active. And here we have Claire Nixon, so she's the team captain for the RAF team.
Claire's been around forever.
Yeah, unfortunately she didn't finish in the Super G this morning. But again, it's really important for her, and for the RAF team as well, that she gets to run in here and really gets the slalom legs back on. Brilliant. Get used to moving again, because obviously the downhill and the Super G, you move very slowly. Yes, you're at speed, but the actual turns happen very progressively. So it's a total tempo change to then turn into the little baby skis. And we're looking at a 1 meter 55 ski here for the girls versus just sort of 1 meter 85, 1 meter 90 that they might have been on this morning.
Yeah, they're Diddy. I was looking. I mean, Claire's tall, but they are Diddy. Claire Nixon, then another. Did not start this morning, or did not finish on the Super G. So just to clarify, the podium you saw was the podium for the women's race. So we just had 2 extra runners who wanted to get their slalom legs going. I think this is probably a forerunner maybe coming down before the men.
Forerunner here. So that's good. Claire Nixon's the team captain for the RAF team, so they'll be very happy that she got to run the course today. Yeah. Oh, and the foreigners don't fall. So he just leant inside. He picked up good speed in the vertically in the straighter section, and then just got to that big turn on the exit. And we may see this for the men coming. We may see this a little bit more as well. Those so the exit gates, the gates that are set after the gates that are set vertically, they pick up speed on those vertical gates, and then suddenly there's some big cranking turns. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see that a little bit with some of the men that will be coming later towards the end there as well.
Well, this is one of the Armed Forces Para Snowsport team, Jack, coming down, and he is a single leg skier, which I always just find incredible. I mean, my legs go jelly, and I've got 2 of them. It's nuts.
So Jack, Jack lost his leg in Afghanistan in 2009. He's only actually been racing. He started skiing actually very quickly after that, but has only started racing in 2019. So this is, from what I gather, he's forerunning obviously today, but when hopefully he does the GS tomorrow, that'll actually be his first competitive race. And yeah, absolutely stunning. The balance required and the strength in the quad. And
he's a tall man as well, so you almost think that angles is harder if you're not so close to the ground.
Yeah, completely. He's a serving Welsh Guard, and he's a colour sergeant in the Welsh Guards.
Well done, Jack. And I did a tiny 30-second run with him and Shonen the other day, and I can tell you they can absolutely skin me on the slope. So
yeah, and that's phenomenal. That's going to be a real confidence build. So hopefully he'll be competing in the slalom, hopefully. And but yeah, GS first competition hopefully for him tomorrow. The speed events aren't a nice way in. So if you're going to start racing, you definitely want to start technically instead.
Okay, so we've got an Australian Defence Force to start us on the men's race. This is Richard Lizu, I think I'm saying that right. And he's starting off the men's race here.
So Rich is a Navy doctor, and apparently, according to, I'm not sure, there might be a little bit of duff info that I've been handed here, but apparently he holds the military chin-up record at HMAS Kutable.
I can believe that. But this morning someone said they were training to be a space cadet. And
yes,
I've heard
that one too, yes.
So
and he's replaced all his luggage allowance ski equipment with European beer, I'm reliably informed by his teammates.
Wow.
I think he might have been
when
stitched
you're
up.
on tour.
So
they've been here, obviously, making a trip from Australia. They've been here for quite a while and been training.
They have.
Is it Sailback?
Yeah, so I think it's about 4 weeks that they've been out already, and they used the RAF championships for training. And but yeah, this is towards the end now of their stint. And then some are staying over, I believe, to experience Europe a bit more, and then others are starting to filter off home. But it's an absolute privilege. They bring so much to the championships, their energy, their vitality, their love of life, and
the bants. Sorry,
yes,
I shouldn't say that live on Forces News, but that is what it is. Richard Lizu, then first of the male competitors here in Meribel for this Alpine Combined, which is the slalom run after the Super G this morning. And now we've got Cameron Wise, also from the Australian Defence Force, on course.
He's an Army cavalry officer. Now the Aussie Defence Forces, they don't really get much speed training, so that they haven't really done much Super G and downhill before. So a few of them being out of their comfort zone, but it's incredibly brave. It's the toughest thing in the world to come to downhill and Super G off the back of not an awful lot of training, because they're confidence events that you need confidence going into them, and he's skiing this really nicely.
But also this is Meribel, this is a world championship, a World Cup course.
Absolutely. It's long as well, so for it to be 2 minutes 13 from this morning, that's an awful lot of quad and thigh burning, that is. and lung burning, I should say, as well. Yeah, it's tough. It's a really tough hill. It is that World Cup hill. It's impressive what everybody is doing on such a tough mountain.
And I don't think, for those of you who aren't skiers, snowboarders, don't spend any time in the snow, it is hard to tell from this angle how incredibly steep that is. And when you're also trying to work in, it's hard enough to get down, just as a leisure skier, but coming down and having to hit posts. And we've got David Ray on course, also from the Australian Defence Force, so they will have a podium, 1, 2, 3, for a brief time anyway. And he has just missed a gate and actually climbed back up for it. And we see that quite a lot, don't we?
Well, absolutely, yeah. And again, that's in slalom you can do that. In the speed events, obviously you're not allowed to. There's a very big distance between the gates. But when it gets to slalom, if the points count. So people want to try and finish so that they get an overall combined time. And so he had 5 seconds in hand from this morning over Cameron, but yeah, with that hike, obviously, not quite there. 4 seconds off.
But it will be an Australian Defence Force podium, and for those of you in that way inclined, they're going to get the flag out, and I'm sure take a few pictures of that. And we've got Ben Scoose bringing up the Australian Defence Force. There's a lot of them coming out here. There's a lot of them competing. There's a lot of snowboarders as well, so it's good to see. And the Aussie flag is out in full force at the minute as the Australians come down this slalom course.
So he had 10 seconds in hand on David. Now apparently he's coming towards unfortunately the end of his ski racing career, so this may be the last time we see him racing here at Meribel. But he's making a really good job of this. He's again getting that slightly tighter line, body across the gate, And
He's using his poles as well. He's got the technique.
Yep. So he's getting nice pole planning afterwards. That just
Lovely.
helps to set your shoulders, your upper body, your core, and keep your core nice and strong, which helps the legs to work independently underneath more easily.
So another Australian Defence Force skier on course at the moment, and that's Brett Acker. Ben Scoose taking the top spot for now. We've got Cameron Wise in second position and David Ray, all Australian Defence Forces on the podium. And this is Brett Acker,
Who's
also an Aussie.
an Air Force C-17 pilot. So he's got long levers as Brett. Using those to really get inside the gate a little bit more as well.
Yeah,
It's a bit of rotation, but he's so it just means at the end of the turn you can see the snow just coming off the ski slightly, but 10 seconds up, so he really let it run though. He was storming.
The Aussies are loving this podium, it's brilliant. But we now have Howard Fielder from the Royal Air Force now on, and Howard's been around for a while as well.
Forever and ever. Yeah.
You can say that, you know.
Absolutely, yes. Yes, no, well. So yeah, Howie has been in the RAF team for years, and literally the experience is showing here.
Wow.
You can again,
tell the difference.
Yeah, you can see his body is hugely inside the gates, a little bit on the exit of that big banana. So a banana's a big sweeping 2 gates where you turn in one direction. But again, so just got a little bit back on the exit, but that's stunning, absolutely stunning.
A good 23-second gap there between Howie Fielder and the Australian Defence Force, and we've got RAF now onto the podium. And James Leese is on course, that's another Australian Defence Force, so we are rattling through it, Kelly, rattling through it.
We are indeed.
Can't keep up, but I knew it would be that. We have to talk at 100 beats per minute.
So he's an Army infantryman, and he only had a second over Howie from this morning. Howie absolutely stormed that run, so active, so aggressive, and there's a little bit
hard
more
to see James beating that time, to be honest.
It would be tough, it absolutely would, yeah. He's smooth. He's keeping a good line, smooth line, but just not quite as active as Howie. So, 4.76 seconds behind Howie.
So up on his Australian Defence Force teammates, but Howie Fielder will remain RAF on the number 1 spot on the podium for now. Harry retains that, but now Ollie Lewis from the British Army.
So we'll see just how good that run was from Howie there. This will be a test for him. This is Ollie Lewis. This is his first into services, but 6-year racing. He's in the rifles. Ooh. And just leaning inside and got rotated there. So
he got a pole between his legs. So
yeah, if they spot that, he may have got away with it.
He has by 182, so he's top of the podium. But I think he's annoyed with himself, because I know that could have could have cost him.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Absolutely. I think he just kind of tripped, like say, they ski pole between his legs, but feet right side of the gate, and that's what counts.
So Drew Macy now, Royal Air Force.
Again, Drew's a real stalwart of the RAF ski team. This is 10th into services. Used to race before he joined the RAF. I actually knew him as a kid.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been around that long as well as Drew has.
Oh dear.
And again, really nice line down this, getting the body across, keeping the upper body nice and still. Very good control of the core. A little bit of rotation, but yeah, 0.38 goes into the lead.
Tight, yeah. So Drew Macy then onto the top spot on the podium, and now we've got Alistair Poll, British Army, on course. And as we explained earlier, it is normal practice that the fastest people are going last, and therefore the podium will change. But you might have little trips, might catch an edge, and that could change everything. But at the moment, pretty much going to plan. And it
he's flying. He's really letting the skis run up there. So this is actually his first inter-services, and he's the first member of the parachute regiment that's been on the Army ski team as well.
Wow, that's I'm surprised at that, but yes, a good 2.87 gap there for Alistair.
Absolutely flying, really let the skis run.
So Harry Fielder now falls off the podium.
Literally.
And, yeah, we change. And then we've got Cameron Lawrence from the Royal Navy now on course.
So Cameron only had 1 second in hand from this morning.
skier coming down. He was
Cameron Lewis then representing the British Army. And we've got two Army on the podium at the moment and one RAF.
Yeah, Cameron Lewis is a Royal Marine, 5 years serving with 45 Commando, but first year racing with the team. Oh, and he just over rotates coming out of that vertical, that hairpin to that straight.
So much difference. And
that did make the difference.
does not even make it onto the podium. Unfortunate there for Cam Lawrence. Ben Easton then from the Royal Navy as well.
So again has 1 second in hand at the moment. He's a Royal Navy clearance diver working with the Diving Threat and Exploration Group in Portsmouth.
I don't want to misquote Sian Lewis from the Royal Navy Alpine team captain. She said if there's any eating challenges, Ben would be keen for them. That's my only stat that I have tonight. But I think pretty much all these competitors are probably big eaters because look at what they're expending every day. So
well, he's apparently the old boy of the team, so he probably needs that extra energy if what she's saying is true. But he looks like he's putting that energy to good use at the moment. 2.93 off, so just slightly slower in the movement. Just slightly slower edge to edge.
Ben Easton then going into third place. He will at least get his place on the podium. Alex Coombe from the British Army now on course.
Lieutenant Ben Easton, who's just arrived from the Navy.
Ben Easton.
All 3 services
And flying through the verticale section straight into that, picked up that new rhythm after verticale well, but then just on the exit of the banana, so the 2 gates and longer turn, just got a bit twisted on the exit there, which just means he lost his edge a little, so just breaks the speed of touch. But
goes into
still
first
carries
place.
over, yeah, absolutely.
Alex Coombe then.
He had that 3-second advantage from this morning that really helped.
So it's Army RAF currently on the podium, and we have Jack Dans, another Royal Navy skier, on course at the moment, and he's looking pretty smooth there, Kelly.
Absolutely, he really, yes, you're completely right. The upper body's so calm, so he's acting as the Royal Navy ski team manager at the moment, and yeah, very calm upper body. So you can see there's not much movement in his hands, just a slight movement across to clear the gate, and that means the ski is able to track that much cleaner, and he absolutely blows the field apart with the 4.73 second lead. Yeah, so it's the control that he had there was stunning and really paid off with the ski just being clean all the time.
And Jack Downs then into top spot there, but quickly followed by Simon Cook from the Royal Air Force, who is already at least over halfway down the course.
Quite possibly the oldest rookie in the RAF ski team.
Oldest rookie, nice.
He's been around for 2 decades, but he's a rookie.
He found it later in life.
Obviously,
a good thing.
So you can see he's got a little bit wider stance, which means he can't quite get as far across the gate. But still very credible time. 2.78 behind, but still very credible, very smooth, very attacking.
So Jack Downs currently in top spot, Simon Cook number 2 on the podium, and Alex Coombe, as we see Jamie Robertson, another Royal Navy skier, on the piece.
Again, Navy, RAF and Army. All 3 British services represented.
And again, calm upper body, but you can just see a little bit of rotation on the exits, and his feet go a little bit wider. There's a bit more snow coming up just there.
It's interesting what you're saying, like the body is almost that, it's just all about the hips, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the legs.
Absolutely. So what you want is a really calm upper body and the legs just working laterally. So you don't want the legs to actually turn, rotate. You just want them to go out to the side and work just straight out to the side, and for the edge, the ski edge to bend naturally underneath.
Jack Downs, no one can get him off that top spot. So James Robertson gone in at the second spot there, but we've got another British Army rider on course, and that is Matthew Jessup.
And he actually has just been flying through that top section. A little mistake in the middle section, but yeah, absolutely flying through the top, really carrying good speed there. So let's see, just a little bit of a breakaway. You can see a little bit more snow coming up at the end of the turn on a couple of those gates, but actually has been carrying really good speed, and he had a second in hand.
Ooh, lovely. 0.82.
Perfect. So lost a fraction, but enough. Did a great job and enough to stay ahead.
Matthew Jessup then knocking Jack Downs off of the top of the podium, this ever-changing podium, of course. And now we see Gary Smith. Now, Gary, I do know a lot about. Obviously, has competed for GB as a guide
Yeah,
for the visually
Alpine
impaired
guys, yeah.
skied. So it's good to see Gary still competing, and he says he's loving it this year.
Absolutely. So yeah, this is back to skiing for himself here, and I know I was speaking to Brett Wild as well, who'll be coming later. It's also a para guide, and I think it can be a bit tough to ski for yourself after you're used to skiing for the person behind you. So just slightly slower, Gary on into third, 1.93 seconds.
Quick, Gary, get on that podium. Otherwise, Brett will come down and knock you off.
Oh, here he is.
Here he comes. Yeah.
Having already spoken.
They come in a pair.
They do indeed. So we've got the two team captains here. So Brett Wild, Navy team captain. Again, to say Brett, he's absolutely flying through the middle section. Lovely exit on that big long banana gate, so the long 2 gates in a row. Carrying good speed, very clean, very active.
Lovely.
Really big rivalry between him and
great Brett, and he's in top.
Yes, storms into the lead, nearly 2 seconds, almost 2 seconds clear at the top.
So Brett Wild quickly gets on to the top of the podium as we have Matthew Scarzi, a British Army racer on course. And I believe there are more men than there are women in this race. What's the highest bib number it goes up to? So we're up to 73 there.
73. So yeah, Matt Scarzi only had 6/10 in hand over Brett, and Brett absolutely flew. Matt, again, very smooth and quick edge changes, a couple of just little breaks away of the ski there. And yes,
doesn't quite take it.
Doesn't quite take the lead, 0.97, but takes him into second place.
Now, Barnaby Rudge is on course for the Royal Air Force at the moment. Barney, and when I say people who've been around forever, there are some people skiing now.
Yep. So again,
he weren't born when he first competed.
It's kind of upsetting me a tad that when you keep saying they've been around forever, I go, yes, I coached them as a kid.
Well, me too. So, I was there too. So
yeah, I coached him as a child on on the dry slopes and the indoors as well. So yeah, Barney is an absolute, dare I say the word, veteran of British ski racing as well as RAF ski racing.
But he's getting the times in, and that's what matters.
He is absolutely,
and he's put himself in top spots.
Yeah, experience showed, we could say, 1.2 seconds ahead. Again, very very smooth, especially that top section. He really flew through the top section, let the ski speed run. But here we have Josh Sedder, the men's army captain, and he is flying, absolutely flying.
We've seen him on many. I think he only came on the scene last year, and he's made many podiums.
Yeah, and so he's the current slalom champion from last year, Inter-Services slalom champion, and you can see why from that top section. You can just see the rebound he's getting out of the ski. He's but it's bouncing straight into that next turn. It's not affecting his body at all.
By 5 seconds, Kelly.
Yeah, absolutely. That was class.
He's broken the 2 minute. Well, not quite the 2 minute, but he's on 2 minutes. And so Dan Barton then on course at the moment, but Josh Sedette absolutely smashing.
First and Dan's position. Down. So Dan was sitting in third place from this morning, but crashed, unfortunately. Just, tipped the gate. And his ski came off and he slid inside.
He's straight up again, though.
As you say, there's such fine lines. You know, you want your body and your feet as close to the gate as possible, but sometimes it's just, millimeters between you being round the gate and getting the best line and actually tapping the gate, and like that.
We saw Graham Price come down the downhill having lost a ski. Just on one ski. I mean, I've obviously just seen Jack do that. But,
he did that for the audience, didn't he? That was a crowd pleaser. But no, and it's a common training technique is to actually do one ski training and even sometimes one ski slalom training as well.
Ollie Weeks, then I know he's another debut. It's his debut season as well for the RF, and of course he was a winner in the downhill.
Absolutely.
So he may test Josh Sedette's time.
So he was a former British development team member, and again you can absolutely see the class here. So yeah, while he's a rookie, he's not a rookie.
No.
This is a very seasoned athlete. Oh, and he just got bounced forward on the exit, but he's carrying absolute motoring with the speed there.
He's going to easily break that 2 minute barrier.
3.25. That's
show him how it's done, Ollie.
Which will really put the pressure on Graham Price from the Navy now. But Graham actually had 3 seconds in hand on Ollie from the Super G this morning. But Ollie really has laid that down.
And this must be the last of the runners, isn't it? Because
it is. Because he's the current
was the fastest this morning.
And he's motoring. You can really see the rebound he's getting on the ski, but actually he's almost recovering every turn as well. So he's on the edge. He's living on the edge, and he is attacking this course hard. Yeah, just maybe a little bit hard on the edges, which is making him rebound. But it's because he's being so aggressive.
So nifty.
So aggressive.
Oh my clean by 3 seconds.
That is
3.52. That is speedy.
So you could just see how hard he was. He was really working the turn hard, which is why he was getting so much recoil out of the ski. But oh my goodness, did that pay off? Absolutely flew down that course. So there we go, that's it. So Graham Price, first for the Royal Navy. Second place, Ollie Weeks, and third place, Josh Surdett.
Yeah, so yes, as well said by Kelly there, Graham Price, Ollie Weeks, and Josh Surdett, which is
and another
Navy,
tri-service podium again. So Navy, RAF, Army. Oh no, hang on, I got it the wrong way around.
Navy, RAF, Army.
Yes,
yeah, that's it.
no, I
You got
did
it
get it
right.
right around.
Just so that you can see, because I know we'll still have viewers saying, well, hang on, there's people still racing. Well, these are the people who did not make a Super G run this morning, so they are just doing one slalom run, but their results won't count and they won't get onto
so
the
Matthew
podium.
there from the Aussie Defence Forces unfortunately didn't finish this morning, but again, this is again a really important training, as we said earlier, for the slalom later to come in the weeks, and just to get used to trying to get that rebound out of the ski again, albeit the change was a little bit too much from the Super Gs this morning to the
coming down
skis.
the outside.
But I tell you what, that's beautiful skiing down
Yeah, I
there.
know.
That was definite
every
crowd
time.
pleaser. That was.
Well, what we're going to try and do, Kelly, as we're still on, whilst we're still on comms, although these skiers obviously good to see Jed McNabb currently on the course, but we are going to see if we can speak to Graham Price and Kirsty Guest. So do hang on and stay with us here in Meribel, because we hopefully get those Alpine Combined winners to come and speak to us as we watch.
Jed McNabb, the levers there were crazy. Did you see how he really got his body hugely inside the gate? So he used his angles absolutely beautifully. So just really lent inside.
So yeah, these guys will not be making it onto the podium because their slalom, they're just running one run of the slalom, more for practice and getting a slalom time than anything else. But the podium, of course, is concentrated on the Super G that took this morning, and then the combination of that with the one slalom run. So we already have winners from this event. Kirsty Guest of the RAF won the women's event. Unfortunately, largely due to the fact that Tessa Piri had a fall, and that would have made a massive difference. And Graham Price absolutely smashing it there for the Royal Navy in the men's competition. And like I say, we will try and talk to Kirsty and Graham if we can try and find them among the crowds as this slalom one-run slalom competition winds up. But we'll stay with these pictures, Kelly, because we came here to watch skiing until we get our interviewees over here. And Tessa will be really disappointed from today. She's been on fire, and as I say, she's my old British teammate. She's 45, I'm 46, and I wouldn't dream of doing this anymore. She just kept herself so fit, and a shame that to have the crash, but. The main events from a team perspective are still to come for her, and she just knew that Kirsty had laid down such a fast run that she needed to work hard to get in there. So, well, listen, we have got the winner of the men's Alpine Combined, and that is Graham Price. Kelly, if I can borrow your microphone, Graham, can you go around that side for me? And come in here, and sorry, you are live, so please don't swear.
No problem.
Congratulations, you absolutely smashed that. How much of an advantage is it to have that Super G run? Obviously it gives you the time advantage, but there's such different runs. How much of advantage is it in your head to have that time and go and absolutely smash that slalom run?
Yeah, well, they're two completely different disciplines and different lengths of ski, so it can be quite difficult to adjust, but today it was alright. The snow's perfect, so I just let it rip. Just a couple of wee moments, but it was a good run.
We know that you lost your ski in the downhill, so it must be nice to come into a competition and get yourself back on that podium after a disappointment in the downhill.
Yeah, I was gutting, but that's racing, unfortunately. It's just one of those things. I was having a good run then as well, but it is what it is. So yeah, it's good to get two finishes back in the book and back on the right track for the rest of the week.
I don't know how much it matters to you guys, but there was a tri-service podium there. You had Josh Sedette and of course Ollie Weeks from the RAF. That's nice to see good healthy competition in the men's Alpine as well.
Yeah, it's good to have all three services competing at once. So yeah, it makes it a much better competition.
You've got a few more events coming up this week. Ski slalom being one of them, and a big one tomorrow as well. So you all prepped and ready to go, or are you just going to enjoy this for now?
Yeah, I'm ready to go for them. So tomorrow we've got slalom again, and then GS on Friday. So I was more of a tech skier, so I'm looking forward to letting the tech skis go.
Well, Graham, thank you so much. We're hoping to speak to Kirsty at some point, but congratulations, you are the winner of Alpine Combined here today, and it was good to chat to you. I know it's a bit weird when you have to have a lip mic and all the rest of it, but we appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having us on.
Okay, thank you. I'll take Graham's microphone back. Brilliant. Thanks very much to Graham Price, winner there of the Alpine Combined, and we've also got Kirsty Guest. Kirsty, do you want to put that? You can put the headphones on, or we can. There we go. So, women's winner of the Alpine Combined, and of course, I mean, explain to us. This morning the Super G, because of course Tessa Peary came into this Alpine Combined slalom run top of the page because you had a tiny little mistake and it made such a difference and put you second this morning in the Super G.
Yeah, so this morning I took the wrong line over one of our bind rollers, so came in a little bit under where I should have been, and yeah, just scrubbed all my speed. But Tess is phenomenal in Super G and speed races, so as soon as I knew I made that mistake, I was like, Tess has got me. But I am much more of a technical skier, so yeah, it was all to play for in the start, so it was really good.
Do you think that it played on Tessa's mind? I mean, she's not here to tell me that, but do you think it played on her mind because she fell quite early in that slalom?
No, I don't think so. Tess is really, really strong skier, so I think that she absolutely wouldn't have been phased by it. I think she's probably just got unlucky. I haven't managed to catch up with her yet, but I think it was just maybe unlucky. It's very icy up there. Some of the gates are quite tight, so yeah, we'll catch up with her and see what she says.
Our very own Kelly over there was telling us it was really nice to ski, because when I came down there yesterday after the PGS, the Parallel Snowboard Giant Slalom, it was really sketchy, but actually apparently the run today was quite nice, so that helps that it's not so icy in a way.
Yeah, no, so it is icy, but we're trained to go on the ice.
Okay.
We probably prefer the ice because
Okay.
it means that the course conditions don't deteriorate or anything, and it's more fair throughout the whole of the race. So yeah, the set was really nice, and combine it with the snow, it was absolutely fantastic.
And you've got a couple more events coming up the rest of the week. We saw you on the podium a lot last year, and you're hoping for the same repeat of that this year.
Yeah, fingers crossed. We've got our technical events now, so we've got a slalom again tomorrow, and then we're into the giant slalom as our final event. So yeah, fingers crossed, it's all to play for still.
Brilliant. Well, Kirsty Guest from the RAF, winner here tonight. Thank you so much for coming to chat to us. I'm just going to call off the live here, and Kirsty, you are free to go.
Perfect. Thank
you
you
very
much.
much.
Thank you.
So thank you to everyone who has been and watched us here this evening. It's really great to be bringing you live streams from the Meribel Inter-Services Snow Sports Championships. This is the third year running we've done it, and it's brilliant that we've been able to give you an Alpine event. And really, that's all from me. It's time to go and celebrate with these winners, and then we've got more tomorrow. There's snowboarding, and of course there's always more the Telemark Classic coming up, which is an absolute classic, may I say. And then we've got the final Alpine event on Friday. But I'm really pleased to say that this has been a great race, and well done to Graham Price and to Kirsty Guest and all the other races involved. That's all from here from Meribel for this year. We'll see you again soon. Thank you for joining us.